Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Happy 2026. I can't believe we're in a new year. It's January 2nd. I did send out my new calendar yesterday, and this is the January inspiration calendar for 2026. And I have different ideas here. If you want this calendar each month, you subscribe to my email list. There's a link below in the description if you want to do that. And every week I do some kind of Friday. Today we're doing a technique. Partial ink blending technique. We do fun fold cards, and then you can look at my Facebook page or my blog and find some cards I made with sketches, and there's color combo. I would love for you to post your sketch cards and color combo on my Facebook if you'd like to play along. And then I just have ideas that you can make throughout the month. So subscribe to my email list and you'll get this, as well as a weekly roundup, things I've done the last week, whatever's going on with Stampin' Up. And then my card classes, so you'll be on my email list for all of those things. So today we're making this partial ink blending technique. And this is a card I saw Gina K from Gina K Designs. She makes amazing cards. And I saw her do this on a short video, and I was like, oh, I'm going to give that a try. It's pretty cool. Hello, friend. It's very simple, and I think it's really pretty. So we're going to make a card, different stamp set, but basically the same card. So we did some ink blending and then stamping in black. So let me get the pieces here. I have my grandkids here, so there may be interruptions. My son is sick, and he asked me to pick him up yesterday. We did an overnight, and my grandson is very loud, so I may have to stop and get him quiet. But we'll see how it goes. So anyway, we're using thick, basic white card base, and I like the white with the black, so we're going to stick with that. And then I have, for the inside, black piece, and then for the front, and these are both 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then our white pieces for both are 3 3/4 by 5. So it's just a little bit of a border around the white. Okay, so I like that look. And then we're using a piece of masking paper. So Stampin' Up sells masking paper, and you get 12 sheets, and they're 5 by 7, and they're pretty good to use if you want to do masking, and it was perfect for this. So what we're going to do first is cut out a rectangle. You can use any rectangle dies, or you could use a knife, whatever the knives that you can use for that. I used the, let me get this out. What is it called? The textured note dies, and the third from the largest. But again, you can even use a different shape. Maybe you have a banner, as long as we want to cut like this. So as long as you have something that will cut that kind of shape, even if the end is a little bit different. So we're going to cut this down right like this. Let me get my machine. So we'll get our die cutting machine, and I want the this side has release paper. I guess it doesn't matter which side you cut. So we're just going to put this down, and we really want to make it, you don't want to have it down here. You want to have it go right up along here, and you want it straight and kind of in the middle, side to side. All right. And then we're going to put our top plate over. I like to press it down and kind of look. It looks pretty good, or maybe a little bit crooked. This is the hardest thing to do, especially I'm looking at it from the side. I think that looks pretty good. And we are card makers, so we say it's handmade, not Hallmark, right? So if it's a little bit off, I think it's fine. So you're going to have this piece, which I would save this because you can cut inside of here and use that for masking. And then this is the piece we want to use. It's kind of funny, but it'll work. Okay, so we have this piece. We're going to put our die back in the package here. And then we are going to peel off the back and lay it on one of these white sheets. Again, this is 3 3/4 by 5, and this was 3 3/4 by 5. So there should be a place where you can just pull it off. And if you don't have the masking paper, you can use any masking paper, but you can even use some Post-it notes, maybe tape them together and then die cut, and you should be okay. Now, I found this to be a little too sticky, so I'm going to just take off a little bit of the sticky. And if I had the problem before, and you can use a gum eraser to take it off if there's some, residual stuff left on your paper. And then we want to get this right down along the bottom. And it doesn't matter how much space is here. It's just as long as you can, fit your sentiment. If you want to move it up, you can. So this is our place that we're going to start working. And we are going to do ink blending. I'm using the same colors I used there because I thought it was pretty. Daffodil Delight, Azure Afternoon, and Fresh Freesia. And I'm going to use my blending brushes. And this is such an easy card, and I think it's just beautiful how it turns out. So we've got this protected, right? And we're right within the card, so we're okay. We're just going to do this. I like to tap it a little bit. We're just going to blend ink. And we're doing the yellow first. And you could just keep adding more, get it to the color you want it. And you don't even have to press too hard. I know I have my finger there, but that just helps me with controlling it. All right, now we'll take this and put it away. The next one I'm going to do is blue, and it really kind of turned it green. Yellow and blue, right? So we're going to get this. I'm going to just pick up a little more. I have to clean this brush. I didn't have a blue one. I don't know why. I used to clean them, and then I heard Patty Bennett say, she's a top demonstrator, that it's better if you don't clean them because then it holds the ink in it and you don't have to keep adding as much ink. And, you keep a brush for a color family. But I didn't have any blue for some reason, so I used this one. And I think I'll clean it and make it my blue brush. So I am going over the yellow, and that's why we're making the green there. And then we'll do Fresh Freesia. I wanted kind of like a purplish pink. And you can go as high as you want. I think it's nice that it's not all the way to the top. Having a little bit of white space there, I think, makes it pretty. And we've got new product coming out January 6th, which I am using some of the new products. So you'll see it as we stamp. So these are, I think, these stamp sets that I used. I used the Hello Friend from Lovely Arrangements. And I used this and this for the floral. Okay, on this card, we're going to use something different. So now we're going to keep this with the tape over it while we stamp so that we're not getting stamp on this paper. So this time I'm using Nature's Symphony, and this is really beautiful. Let me show you the dies because it is just beautiful. This die has all the little like embossed leaves on it. It's really beautiful. It goes with this if you wanted to buy the bundle. It's Nature's Symphony. And these, again, will be available starting January 6th. Can't wait. So we're going to use black Memento ink. And we're just going to ink this up good. If you have a Misty, you might want to use your Misty. I feel like I got ink in my finger. I just really want it nice and dark. So the Misty is a stamp positioning tool that you can use, or if you have a Stamp-A-Majig, that's what Stampin' Up! Used to sell. Not Stamp-A-Majig, Stamparatus. We did have a Stamp-A-Majig many years ago. I don't know if any of you been around as long as I have to know what that is, but the stamp positioning tools are really awesome. So we are just going to stamp this. It's going to go off the onto the masking tape a little bit. And we want to get a good clean image here. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to peel this off. And again, if it doesn't peel off, you just want to take it slow. I found that it's very sticky. I think it's a little too sticky, to be honest. So if you end up with anything left over after you peel it, but see how clean the line is? Isn't that pretty? You can use, as I said, a gum eraser to pull it off. And we're going to just go around this corner. And this one is even, I think I have more ink on it. I think it's even prettier. See how this is coming off? So if anybody has any ideas for this besides a gum eraser and running it on your sleeve, I would love to hear them. You just have to kind of take it slow. I see it's ripping here. Well, so much for slow, right? So if you have a big Post-it note, that might even be better. But, oh, here it is. Just take your time with it. Okay, so I do have a little bit here, so I'm going to get my gum eraser out. This is good for removing ink, or not ink, for removing glue. If you have lifted something, or you have some like liquid glue or any kind of glue, I think that the Seal and the Seal Plus, you can use this to rub it off. So see, isn't that beautiful? I love the sharp white edges. So now this is going to lay on this. But before we do that, let's put a sentiment on. And I think I'm going to use the sentiment that comes with this, "To a Great Guy." I don't think I'm going to do "I Like You a Lot." I like you lots. I think that's kind of funny. But we're going to stamp this in black, and maybe I'll make it a birthday card or something. I don't know. I'm not going to stamp a sentiment on the inside because I really don't know who I'm going to give this to. But I thought this was a good kind of masculine card. I don't think the colors are too feminine. It's kind of like a sky. "To a Great Guy." Perfect. So it's so simple, right? It's very clean and just pretty. And let me get my Seal Plus. So we're going to put this on the black layer, and then we're going to put it on the white card base. All right, it's just a tiny little border here. And then we'll put this on the white card base. Try to stay away from that ink. I don't think it'll pick it up, but you never know. And it's got a little bit of a bigger border. A little bit of a bigger, is that an oxymoron? I think I got a little ink there. I'll kind of use something to get rid of that. I don't know if you ever use the mono eraser. This does erase ink, but it takes a while. It's almost like a sandpaper, but I'll do that later. But just in case you need that. Okay, so we are going to add a little bit of this. And that's why I have ink on my finger. I touch an ink pad that had black ink on it. Go figure. And we'll just do this. Put that down. Yeah, I do have ink on my fingers. Let's hope for the best here. And we're just going to put this down here a little bit. I did the same thing in here. Working on white with ink on your fingers is not a good idea. So let's put this down. So if you were going to put a sentiment, you would do that now before you stick it down. And again, just a slight little border. I think it's very like classy looking. And then this is going on the inside. I was like, where is this going? On the inside. All right. Okay. I'm not even blinging it up because I think it's just beautiful the way it is. So these are the cards for this week. Next week, we're doing a scrappy card because I have lots of scraps left over. And those are always fun. And then I just wanted to tell you about my upcoming card class. So I just announced it today, and we are making, you'll make 2 of each of these cards. Happy birthday, happy cake day, let's celebrate. This is a fun fold. And another happy birthday. So they're birthday card themed. We're using, this is all new product, so I can't order it till January 6th. This paper is just gorgeous, so I decided I would use it. The stamp set that comes with this, with the suite, is a lot of like kind of wedding-ish. It's pretty, but I didn't want to do a whole class on weddings, or, you know, that kind of thing. So I figured I would do birthday. So this is the paper I'm using. And then with it, in your kits, you'll get a full thing of paper. You'll get these, what are they called? Beautifully adorned ephemera pack. I don't know if I say that right. So it's all of these, and that's what I used for some of the cards. So it's a full pack of the ephemera. So there's pages of this. Let's see how much there is. I think there's 6 of them, 6 pages, 2 of each. So you'll have enough to make your 2 cards. And then these beautiful pearlized faceted circles. And these are gorgeous. So if you're interested, I'll have a link below to register for this. So you'll make 2 of each of these. And all you need is ink, stamps, and adhesive. Everything else is in the kit. So if you want that, look below for a link to register for my card class for January. All right, thanks so much. Next week, I said we're going to make a scrappy card. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week.